I'm Ashton Addison from Blockwest Capital for Investment Pitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Nick Rose, CEO and founder of Ethernity. Nick, welcome to the show, and thanks so much for taking the time.
Hey, Ashton. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
You're very welcome. So much going on in the world of NFTs, blockchain, and Ethernity is doing so much as well. A lot to talk about in a little bit of time, so let's dive straight into it. I'd love to start off the conversation by just hearing a little bit about, Ethernity Chain, what your team is working on, and then we'll dive into the details.
Yeah, Ethernity Chain is our NFT marketplace and platform. It started, the idea came to be around 2017, but we launched officially a year and a half ago. We started as a team of 3. Now we're a team of 70. And we're fully focused on expanding our offerings and building around the ERN token, growing our community and keep acquiring IPs.
Definitely, that's great. And there's so much expansion in NFTs because there's so much different utility, everything from digital apes to profile pictures to digital identities to real world assets. And where do you start and where do you focus with Ethernity?
Yeah, so Eternity's first mission, I would say, was to bring brands and individuals into the Web3 space. So our first goal was IP acquisition. We went out there and tried to speak to individuals and companies and sign licensing deals, long-term licensing deals. We've done some amazing licensing deals with Lionel Messi, ABG, which owns the Elvis Presley estate rights for digital rights, and Shaquille O'Neal, Muhammad Ali, Marilyn Monroe. We did a few things with Tony Hawk. So we keep playing on that field, keep acquiring IP, keep doing licensing deals and getting those licenses and walking them step by step on the Web3 playground and, releasing digital collectibles for now.
That's really cool. And how do you approach that? Looking at like an entertainer or an artist and a fan connection, I feel like there's different ways that the platform could approach utilizing NFTs in that relationship.
Yeah, there's multiple ways to do it. The easiest of all is, like I said, digital collectibles, but there is a lot of ways to do that. There is some individuals, some notable figures who they actually want to get involved in being the community and be active. So they want to build their own communities. So, for example, Tani potentially will have his own community. They start their own Discord and they are in touch with their own community. So they get asked questions daily. So they're fully involved. And there is others, brands and individuals, they just want to sell stuff. Like, they're licensing our stuff and we get our art team or we partner up with an artist like Boss Logic or Rav Grassetti that we did things before. And we put out their artworks and collectibles. And some of them have utility. So let's say even if you don't have your own community, you purchase now a Lionel Messi collectible. Maybe Lionel Messi will Zoom with you once a year. Or like I did this personally I released a collectible myself. And, the community we love speaking to each other. And I only made 20 of them. And the community gets to Zoom once a year with me. So there is fun utilities you can get and interact with people you admire. But yeah, those are the 3 ways.
Very cool. And does that all work through the Ethernity Marketplace, or do you go to the marketplace and search for specific artists? How does the marketplace work?
Yeah, you can navigate through the marketplace, and we categorize at the moment at entertainment and sports, right? This thing will change because we're adding way more categories in the future. But at the moment, you can go and search and go Ethernity.io, and you will see all the licenses and all the drops we've done. Ethernity.io.
Very cool. And speaking of drops, I feel like something that's brought a lot of hype to NFTs and a lot of awareness to people that aren't involved in NFTs right now are the airdrops and like these primary market drops where they sort of sell out right away. Is that how you're approaching these collectibles with the artists?
Yeah, I mean, we've been experimenting a lot. Like I said, this is a brand new space. You got to play around to figure it out. So we did 2 weeks ago, we did our mystery box, our first mystery box drop ever. The legendary sold in less than 44 seconds. I had barely time to buy one. And the whole drop sold out in a few hours. we observing and experimenting with selling mechanisms for now. There's a lot of ways to do it. We've done auctions, we've done just limited items, we've done open editions, we've done mystery boxes as of now. We're experimenting, to be honest. We loved the mystery boxes selling mechanism. It was a lot of fun for the community as well. Lots of engagement from the community, and everybody was happy in the end, which is pretty rare. usually people will complain, but that was one of the most successful ones we've done.
Definitely, and that's great to hear. And I'm guessing you've sort of been following the NFT ecosystem, and it sort of differs a little bit through different blockchains as well. And some of them have issues, and some of them have complaints, whether it's with a non-fair launch or just the costs of the blockchains. How have you looked at the problems in NFTs currently and solved them on Ethernity chain?
Yeah, you can. Like I said, I'm a problem solver myself, and I love solving problems. Like with experimenting and testing and seeing what the community wants and how things are easier. We've done a lot of mistakes in the start. I think we're getting much better. And the only way to get much better in anything you do is experimenting and testing things, right? At the moment, we're only on Ethereum. But one of our biggest goals on our roadmap, and something we've been working very hard on the background, is interoperability, being able to buy something and being able to mint it in any chain you want, lowering the gas fees, increasing speed, and giving an option, because that's what's all decentralization is about. People need to have options. Having options about doing whatever they want. So if you were to buy a collectible or an NFT collectible from Ethernity, you should be able to mint it wherever you want, right? I think it's very important, because anyone will feel like they have 100% control of their assets and their purchases.
Definitely, I completely agree, and I'm looking forward to seeing those big plans, and I think multi-chain will be a huge part of it. And speaking of the big picture, I know Ethernity is a part of the Ethernal Labs, and I saw that Ethernal Labs recently raised $20 million. So congratulations, first of all, on that. Maybe you can talk about those partners. What with that closed, what's sort of the plan moving forward with Ethernal Labs?
Yeah. So when we first started about a year and a half ago, we only raised $2.8 million through ERN, but we were really lucky, and we were part of that amazing NFT bull run on 2020-2021, and we didn't need to raise more money. But what happened is you saw that surge of companies and individuals trying to get into the market, and you would see, like, sorry for my expression, you'll see stupid valuations and amounts, $100 million there, $50 million there. And we were like, okay, let's go raise, because this is not going to end up well. And you'll see a massive market crash, which I'm a big believer. I mean, you see it happening right now, not in NFTs yet, but you see it on the stock market. You see it on the fungible market. So with the goals we had, even if the company was profitable and is profitable, we still needed a war chest to be able to compete against others. So we went out there, spoke to a few strategic investors that we really like, and we raised our seed round of $20 million to expand our offerings. Because Ethernity, like I said, is our first product, right? We're building, I mean, the Exorians universe, I don't know if you've seen anything about it on Twitter, is our biggest bet for 2022. Is our own brand, it's our own little universe. I don't want to say little, it's our own universe, because it's going to be more than little, in my opinion. It's our own brand that we're building from scratch. It has its own story, and our aspirations for the brand, this brand are enormous. We're building comic books, we're building a story, we're building a video game, a Web3 fully video game. We're building a little metaverse as well. Again, I said a little. But the Exorians universe is literally the first project after the Ethernal Labs fundraise.
That's great to hear, and yes, smart move, following the market cycles there. Now, I'm curious. There's the artist fan collections with NFT utility. Then there's the utility of NFTs in metaverses and in GameFi as well. Are you just putting your hands in each of those baskets, or where do you see the most potential for NFTs to grow out of all of these different ecosystems?
Yeah, I think it depends because there is different people. It's all depends on the consumer, right? There is some consumers that all they care about is the art. They just buy NFTs for the art. Like I love art. If I walk you through my house, you'll see I have a bunch of NFTs all over because I just love the art. I'm not expecting any utility from the artist, right? Though that's all I care about. And eventually one day, maybe I'll resell that piece to somebody else. But for now, I just have it here and I enjoy it on a digital screen in my house, and I enjoyed seeing it on my MetaMask wallet. There's other people who they do this for work. They do this for profit. So their goal is to buy NFTs and trade them for more money and flip them. And those consumers expecting the NFTs to increase in value, which obviously you can't control, but that's their expectation, right? So they're always wants you to see, they always want hype around the project. But like I said, no founder can control that. If there is things going on with the project, there'll be hype. Like today, Elon Musk went and he was probably bored in the morning and he used an ape on his profile for fun. It went up 10 ETH. Wow. I own multiple apes. That's how I know. But the founder didn't even know that. He was probably sleeping and he just woke up to 10. You know what I'm saying? So there is things that are happening that's out of your control, and some of them are good, some of them are bad. So you can't really control the hype. You can build as great as you can, and have your marketing plan, and things will flow. And the third part is wearables and metaverse utilities, which I love and we do a lot. For example, we've sold the Dak Prescott, who's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. We sold his wearables, and what will happen is when our sandbox activation is ready, and we're almost there, anyone who owns that an NFT will be able to run around sandbox wearing the Dak Prescott jersey, right? For a Dallas Cowboy fan, that's a pretty big deal, right? And we'll do the same with Messi. We'll do the same with many other athletes.
Wow, very cool. And, speaking of the Exodius universe and making, games and metaverse, it's a whole nother venture on top of, doing fan collections and NFTs for art. I feel like to make a good game and to have a game that people are going to continue to use and not just, have the initial hype and sort of fade off, you need to have like a whole game studio, or you need to have a really big plan in how you're going to retain people to play and bring long-term utility. Do you have any more insight into that?
Oh, 100%. And just to add to that, my passion, I had always three passions: finance, art, and gaming. I love art. I love gaming. I used to play a lot of games when I was younger and I had more time. I'd still snatch out some Rust Sundays here and there, but not much anymore. I prefer spending time in nature when I can. And finance with DeFi, we can talk about DeFi later. But the gaming was always, I always wanted to start the gaming studio myself. I haven't done it yet. So now it's the time to partner up with a gaming studio. So what we did is, which I'm going to learn a lot personally myself, and you never know in the future, I have a lot of aspirations as well. So what we're doing is, Thomas Vu, who's a great friend of mine, he produced League of Legends, and he also produced this amazing show called Arcane on Netflix that actually broke records. Elon Musk posted about this as well. So what we did, Thomas came on board Ethernal Labs. He invested an X amount on a round, and he came on board as our gaming advisor. So he's helping us. He's helped us, not helping us. He's obviously helping us, but we started months ago. He's connected us to a bunch of studios, and he's helped us bring some key developers and key product managers on Ethernal Labs to help us build this monster, which is called the Exorians universe. What we're building, you said something very smart. You said how people will keep playing the game and not just play and leave. We're building a lifestyle game. There's different categories of games. There's games that you can play as a single player. You can take a player, finish your quests, and that was it. And there is lifestyle games that there is no quests. There is none of that stuff. There might be a little story just to get familiar with the game. But the main goal of the game is you have multiple maps and you connect with all your friends and you compete on those same maps and you get better and better with years. It takes a long time to get better, right? Like Fortnite. Fortnite is easier, but like Rust, for example, it takes years to master the PvP and the strategies and all that stuff. So we're taking the lifestyle approach. Build a game that People can play that gamers can play with using their Exorian characters. You'll obviously have a default character. If somebody doesn't own an Exorian, they'll have the basic character. But if you do own an Exorian, you'll be able to log in with your Web3 wallet, use your Exorian, and play against your friends in different servers, official servers and community servers.
Very cool, Nick, and great to hear about that League of Legends connection there. Now, the games obviously take a lot of time as well. Is there any tentative timeline on where you're at with Exodius?
Yeah, it's going to take us about 2-3 years. We have no illusions of launching a game tomorrow. It's going to take us a while. 2 years is our minimum time. What we're going to do is, though, I was holding this as a DeFi thing to tell you in the end, because there is another utility in NFTs besides the three ones that I mentioned earlier. There is financial incentives, right? Or DeFi incentives, meaning you own now an Exorian, you can stake him, and you can earn reward tokens back, which I love that. And we're doing that. We're launching a second token, which I won't name the name yet, because our community is like CIA. They look at everything I say and everything I do, and they save them and they bring them up on Discord. It's like hilarious. So we're launching a second token that every Exorian holder will get airdropped. And sorry, not airdrop. They will have to stake their Exorian to earn, and this token will have bunch of utilities. It's going to be our SLP token in the game in the future, but for now it will serve our DeFi needs till the game is ready. So we'll have this fun DeFi application while the game is being built. And the comics I was mentioning is, the goal is, obviously we haven't put this on the roadmap yet because we're working on the logistics. The goal is the stock, because we've already wrote the first season. The goal is take this fun story we've written and put it on comic visuals and sell them to the comics as NFTs.
That sounds really exciting.
We will use Ethernity as the marketplace to sell the Exorian comics, because Exorian Universe is a different website. It's a separate website than the Ethernity. Both of them are built by Ethernal Labs, but there are two different entities. But they will cross in multiple ways. So selling collectibles, using potentially licenses from Ethernity as wearables for the Exorians, a sack jersey or a Messi jersey or a Dak jersey, just bringing random names. But there's going to be a lot of crossovers there.
Very cool. Looking forward to that, Nick. And you mentioned about DeFi and that you're creating a second token. I wanted to just touch on the first token. And you mentioned at the beginning how you're really trying to build the ecosystem around the ERN token. Maybe you can talk about just that right now and what you've built so far around that ecosystem.
Yeah. So ERN is our native utility token. The token's purpose is having a community that's using it, and using our own token. We wanted to make sure we have control of the use case, meaning the community everyone feels that they belong in something. When instead of using a different token, why not use our own token, right? And potentially, I don't say this is going to happen in the future. We might have our own chain, because you saw what happened with the apes. That's why the name was always Ethernity Chain and not Ethernity. We obviously plastered it now as Ethernity, but potentially why not have our own chain? Because we do believe in what we're building, and our community is increasing rapidly. So eventually, why not save those gas fees? It's just a lot, right? But for now, we're on Ethereum. We have a migration on Polygon as well. We're on our quick swap as well. But everything we do within Ethernity is on ERN. So if you want to purchase an NFT, if you want to stake, if you want to farm, if you want to LP stake, you have to use ERN. And there's other things we're building, and we can go there later, that ERN will have a use case. On our game now, the Exorians game, anything you need to play the game, you'll need ERN. If you want to buy an item in the game, if you want to compete with someone in the game, ERN will be the primary token for everything in the game. But the rewards token will be the new token we're going to create. That's going to be, it's our SLP, like Axie, for example, right? So we're going to have a different rewards token with different economics and different mechanics. But the purchase powering token and the governance decision token will be ERN, because there's going to be a lot of governance that we are implementing in the future for the game, for improvement, for patches, and for Ethernity as well.
Amazing, Nick. So much going on in little different ecosystems, and you mentioned they're hinting at a few things. Maybe we can just talk about you can hint at a couple things on the roadmap just for Ethernity itself in the near future here that the viewers have to look forward to.
Yeah, sure. So like I said, Ethernity is an NFT marketplace. So we keep adding features. I mean, we just added, like, we started as a plain marketplace that all you could do is buy, sell. So we're now adding NFT swapping. You can swap your NFTs with somebody without a monetary transaction, right? This is part of our roadmap. It's not out yet, but we're working on it in the background. We added an NFT transfers. We adding make an offer. Now, those make an offer OpenSea already has it, but we didn't. So we're just focusing on what our marketplace is working. We adding leaderboards. We already have leaderboards for stone farmers. I don't know if you know what stone farming is. It's a program we have for people who are listening that you can stake your earn and you can earn stones. And instead of spending your earn when we have stoneholder events, you can spend stones where they have no monetary value and acquire NFTs you like, which is pretty cool. And I love that. A lot of people have been able to buy, to purchase NFTs with stones, which is worth zero, which is worth nothing. You can do that just by staking. And they were able to sell those NFTs for Ethereum or earn, which it actually has value. So they were able to make profit. And so that's a DeFi application right there, right? Mm-hmm. You can, like I said, you can farm stones, you can direct stake, and you can LP stake, provide liquidity on our Uniswap pool and earn trading rewards. A lot of people doing that. We have some pretty cool TVL in there. What else are we're building? We're building our mobile app, which is my chief of product's biggest challenge right now. We built it. We were ready to launch it. We didn't because we all looked at it and said, it's good, but it's not perfect. So we're working on it right now. Hopefully we will launch the app through the summer because like I said, to take NFTs mainstream, you need both worlds. You need the crypto natives and you need the everyday people, right? Everyday people doesn't know how to use a MetaMask wallet. So we're building this app. We've actually invested a lot of money on this iPhone/Android app. And when it's ready, that's going to be a pretty big feature for the Ethernity Marketplace because now you can use the app and the website to buy collectibles. So it will open the door for an influx of users as we didn't have before. What else are we building on the background? We're building a lot of multi-chain technologies. Like I said, mint NFTs in different chains. We're building NFT lending, but NFT lending might be a different complete website because, like I said, with regulations in the US, we don't know yet. We have to figure it out. But NFT lending, we are just waiting on from our legal departments being able to get a loan. I love DeFi, like I said, but we have to comply with because I'm based in the US, but the company is not. Most of the Ethernity is based in offshore, and the majority of the team is based offshore. So we'll see. Like I said, we're complying with everything. So we want to be compliant. So we'll see on NFT lending when it's time. We have a lot of stuff built, a lot of stuff being built in the background. Yeah.
Amazing, Nick. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff for the people in the Discord to sift through and ask you questions about. And, just for the viewers that aren't already in the Ethernity communities and they haven't used the marketplace, what is the best way for them? Is it just to go in the Discord and go to the marketplace, or how else can people learn more and get involved?
I think Ethernity.io, sign up, create an account, and join our Discord or Telegram, and then interact the admins and everybody that I'm there pretty often. You can tag me and ask me a question, or my Twitter. I am Nick Rose, or the company's Twitter. You can always send me a question, or I'm pretty active on Twitter and our Discords. And like I said, our whole team is active, so we do AMAs pretty often, and everybody's really, really friendly in there, and they'll be more than happy to facilitate for sure.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nick. I will leave the links in the description box below as well. All the best on everything Ethernity Chain and Ethernal Labs, and let's follow up in the near future.
You got it, Ashton. Thank you so much, man. All right. Thank you for having me.